Bitcoin as freedom money. Now, freedom, that's the first dissection that we need to start with. What is freedom and what is money? Uh, that question is very much being tackled right now by Bitcoin coming into circulation as a form of global money, not associated to any particular nation or the face of an emperor, president, prime minister. So that there's this open expansiveness to Bitcoin that transcends everything else that's come before it, because it's the utilization of this global network we call the internet with this global thing that we need, which is money. And the idea of freedom sort of finds its way into there for several different reasons. The key example is that we have a form of money now that is on the internet. Bitcoin doesn't exist physically. The end points and the entry and exit points are through mining and that exchange rate back to energy, another conversation. But the freedom aspect of the monetary units itself is also important to how easily it is converted into other things. Because you don't want to be stuck on a desert island with Bitcoin in your hardware wallet. Locations and environments require different things. But the true aspect of freedom money starts with the good example of fleeing war or any form of chaos that requires humans to flee an area and move across borders or move through things that create frictions where people want their valuable possessions. So running across a border, escaping war is the very most direct example of being able to store your money literally within your mind. You memorize your 12 or 24 words and disembark, leave, dematerialize all your wealth into this digital form of money to escape an environment that may take your resources to finance said war effort. That's the key example. When it comes to freedom in terms of a less severe example, such as war, but more towards, say, civilian lifestyle, is the debt money system is designed to take from us. Take from us in ways that as we work to earn the money, we're taxed. By holding the money, it's inflated, so its value buys less, so it's a hidden tax. And when you spend the money that you've earned and been taxed, hold it and hidden tax. And then when you go to spend it, there's sales tax and all other. Bitcoin being introduced gives us comparison to all of this theft. And so the freedom side on that front is everyone's racing to be paid more in dollars and pounds and fiat currencies and salaries and hourly amounts at younger ages. That even no matter how much we earn, it seems that it's all taken away by just trying to live, expenses and costs. And the true goal of freedom, in the eyes of the example of wanting to be able to travel, being able to afford a holiday in a year, is that the gap between what you earn and what you have to spend, whether it's just expenses or you're a high spender, that gap is your freedom, your wealth. Wealth is measured in time by how quickly you spend. Not rich as in the quantity of dollars you have, but how quickly you spend through it over time. So if you're looking for freedom in the sense of being able to travel anywhere, which is a very important, valuable freedom, whether it's the affordability of a car, the fuel to put in the car, the flight of the air, of the going on the plane and going somewhere and staying somewhere, the aspect of having digital wealth in a place in a world that you can now physically locate to reduce your expenses. For example, I'm currently here in Latin America, where the expenses are 1/5 of the cost in the UK. So creating digital incomes, combining it with physical cost reduction is widening that margin for me. It'll hopefully allow me to go and travel to all different places that there's Bitcoin stories to tell, for example. Freedom. That's the freedom of money is the ability to have it and spend it on choices by living your life by your design and not in this default mode of the rat race of earning it and losing it quicker than the rate in which you spend it and going into credit. There's there's several pieces to the Bitcoin as freedom money story, whether you're fleeing war in the extreme sense of the word to a civilian that just wants to store wealth into the future, store your time and energy, your work into the future, and potentially provide that to your children and support them through education, travel, experience, and all these sorts of things that are more important than money. So, yeah, unlocking those things that are more important than money requires you to have money and requires you to not have to spend it on all your expenses, to find a bigger salary, to cut expenses where you can, and this margin in the middle that you're trying to find. So if Bitcoin comes along as this form of money that there's only 21 million of it, and an expansion of energy trying to find it, compute trying to find it, dollars trying to buy it, treasury stocks trying to hungry hippo their way to every last Satoshi they can find, it's going to just drive the price up in comparison to everything else you can spend it on. And we'll just see this progression over time of particular people in society being smart and converting their time and energy into Bitcoin, swelling their purchasing power and their expression of freedom of being able to go on holiday, travel, live, eat nice things, explore, spend time with loved ones so you're not having to overwork, because you've got to see that opportunity cost that if you have to overwork, that's time away from other things and other people that you could be spending it with. I'll definitely do another video on this topic, but yeah, I just thought to open up a more uh, monologue-esque video on this particular occasion. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.